Hi everyone, Rudy Tatali here. Thanks for joining me on this podcast. In this session, I'm going to be having a chat to you about the importance of measuring and monitoring everything we do in our marketing. It's so important that we do this because ultimately what we're trying to do is turn our marketing into an investment strategy. Imagine buying some shares and having a portfolio of shares. You might have eight to 10 different shares that you've invested in. And imagine going to a financial planner and buying those shares. And then, 3 to 6 months down the track, you're sitting by yourself one day having a cup of tea and you think, I wonder if those things that I invested in actually made any money. So you jump on the phone or send an email to your financial planner, and he or she says, when you ask the question, how are my shares going? They say back to you, I don't know. I've no idea. And so probably the first question you'll ask after that is, how come you don't know? And they'll probably say, we haven't been measuring it and we haven't been monitoring those shares. And let's just say you have, obviously you probably have a bit of a go at them at that point. You hang up the phone and then they ring back a week later and say, hey, I've got more of those shares. What do you say you sort of take a bit of surplus capital and buy these shares? Now, you would have to be ridiculously, naive to, heed what that planner is saying and invest money into those shares when you have no idea how they've performed previously. You don't know if they're good shares or bad shares. You have no benchmark, so nothing to measure them against. You've got absolutely nothing. So you're running blind into something that you don't fully understand. And I think most people that are listening to this would say, well, you'd have to be an idiot to do that. And yet, time and time again, when I go and work with businesses, and this isn't just one particular industry, this is across all industries. When I ask them how their marketing is performing, their answer is, I don't know. We're not measuring and monitoring it. Now, based on the example I gave you about purchasing shares and investing in those shares and measuring and monitoring those shares, most people would say, well, that's different. Of course we're going to measure our shares. The financial planner is going to measure our shares. And they do, of course, that's what they do. I'm giving that story to you as an example because you might be listening to this and running a business and starting to feel a little bit foolish, a little bit naive, because you'd say absolutely we'd be measuring and monitoring our shares. Yet when asked whether you're doing that for your marketing investment, so you're allocating money out of your business to work as an investment. That's what marketing does on a lot of different levels, and I won't get into all those levels in this session, but ultimately marketing, we're trying to turn our marketing dollar into an investment, aren't we? Makes sense. So the $1 million question is, why do so many businesses struggle to actually measure and monitor what they're doing? And you're probably shouting down at the speaker at the moment saying, a variety of things why you don't measure and monitor it. And probably some of those things, based on the feedback I've had from businesses that I talk to, is we don't have time. We don't have the resources. We don't know what to measure and monitor. Even if we do measure and monitor, how do we know if that's working or not? And all of those might seem like justifiable reasons or excuses not to do it. However, it absolutely needs to be a fundamental part of your business. Because whenever you're planning your next year's budget, which might be at the end of May, beginning of June, you're starting to have a look at what actually happened, the year in review, right, based on the financial year, what actually happened, how much money did we make, all those sort of questions and that process you go through at the end of the financial year. You need to have something to work on or look at in that previous year to know if you've been successful or not. And we come to that phone call that I spoke about before, when you get the second call from the financial planner about your shares, and he's saying, come on, reinvest. And of course, it's ridiculous. We would not reinvest if our financial planner said that to us, if he had no measurement. Yet we do that all the time in our marketing. We just grab a bunch of funds without knowing what happened the year before, and we just do it all over again. And what I'm trying to charge business owners with is to get out of that habitual thinking of just saying to yourself, well, we feel that this worked, we feel that that didn't work. And that's the most common response that I get from businesses. It's feeling, they're feeling words. We ran radio campaign, we've run some Facebook ads, and we feel that the phone was ringing. We feel that there was more inquiries. We feel that more people came into our store. And what I want to charge businesses with is to become a little bit more scientific and replace the feelings with facts. When you replace the feelings with facts, it then empowers you to make some really good decisions on the future of your marketing. Because you can get an exceptional return on investment on your marketing if you measure and monitor it and tweak it and adjust it accordingly. It can become an extremely lucrative investment for your business. And marketing, the same as all other areas of business, work on three key areas, which is input, process, and output. That's what business is, that's what marketing is. And if you don't understand your inputs, for example, if we're running radio ads, what are the scripts we're using? Do we split test the script to see what works and what doesn't work? Do we split test the voiceovers, maybe male versus female, to see if there's any difference in the results? If we're running Facebook ads, are we split testing different images to see what people engage with? Same with TV, direct mail, emails. They're all inputs that we use. So if we are running a large e-newsletter out to our database and we don't understand all the inputs, we may even get an output that we want or that we think is good. But if we don't know what inputs cause that output, we're still back to square one. So we need to know why things fail, if they do, and we need to know why things work. And only then can we really embrace our marketing as an investment, and be confident in channeling more funds or distributing more funds into our marketing. And so what I really want business owners to do is to go back, have a look at everything they're doing in marketing, and focus on the inputs, focus on the things that make up everything in your marketing environment. That way, you can start to build benchmarks against all those inputs, and you can start to set KPIs, key performance indicators, around all those inputs as well. So there's just a little bit of some thought around measuring and monitoring our marketing and how important that is. I hope that's been of some value, and I'll catch you on the next podcast. Thanks again. Bye.